Alright, so this deck's been consistently sweet when we've played it in the past. It's based around Oni-Cult Anvil, which is kind of a more fair cat oven because it only activates on your turn. We've got a bunch of small artifacts here, things like Epicure and Synthesizer, and then Beetle and Harvester making blood tokens. Voltage Surge is a cheap removal spell, and then Meathook Massacre and Fable kind of tie the whole room together. This provides powerful card selection in addition to Synthesizer and Deadly Dispute, and then Meathook Massacre just, you know, needs no introduction. Let's pop on into some standard match with this one and see how it goes. This is fine. We're on the draws, so we're pretty likely to hit our third land on turn 3. Winota is a card that is Pioneer legal that's banned at Historic. Yeah, this deck is a thing in Alchemy as well, with the upgrades you mentioned, Pseudonym. We've played it before. You can look back on the YouTube channel. Is Oko banned in Pioneer? Yeah, Oko's banned in like every format. By the way, for folks interested in Explorer and interested in submitting decks, I am taking deck submissions for Explorer, and keep in mind that the Every Plate promo is going through the end of the month. So if you'd like to get some sweet meals delivered to your door along with a deck submission for me playing something of your choosing on stream, and you live in the US, that's a good one to take advantage of. Morning, Dylan. Afternoon, whatever time of day it is. A rummage here. They're probably a Goldspan Dragon deck, right? Which probably means I want to hold on to this Voltage Surge. I think it's definitely Virus Beetle. I think that's just Beetle. See what we get. And with the untapped land drawn, I'm gonna go Fable here, and then we'll play Hive of the Eye Tyrant, and then next turn we get Lolth if we want to. Instant Fall Liquid. All right, no untapped land for Goldspan is nice for us here. If we get to attack with this 2/2, we'll be able to Lolth and hold up Surge. Although I guess we won't be able to Surge for 4 off just 1 treasure. Hook doesn't seem particularly exciting at the moment. Stitch that. Rewarded for not playing around Disruption. I think it was going to get us at some point regardless. No Goldspan in sight. Feels nice. Thrin, thanks for the 20 months. Welcome back. So I want to get value off my Kiki Jiki right away. There's a good chance they like clear my board out next turn. And this is always going to draw me a card. Whereas these can't always generate value. Alright, that means likely no sweeper, which is good. Yep. Is your last card a counterspell? It is not. Good stuff. This is literally the only 5-drop in my deck right now. Because we already went through the other Lolth. No joke, Beef. Stop going to Reddit. That's true. There's parts of Reddit that are fine. Gaming subreddits, no joke, are actually some of the worst parts of Reddit. Like, I'm someone that frequented our politics during the 2020 election cycle, and it was less bad than most gaming subreddits. It's not even really exclusive to Magic too. It's really just kind of all gaming subreddits are the issue. They're all very similar. Typically speaking, people that are invested enough in a particular video game to go to a subreddit for that video game tend to have a toxic relationship with that thing because they're over invested in it. Maybe video game subreddit is too broad, and I should more specifically say competitively played video games. Video games that regularly involve the company providing new content and balanced patches. Lifestyle games, yeah. It's probably a better live service, lifestyle, whatever you want to call them, yeah. So they have Fielder Rune? I think we're dead here, right? Feels like Hullbreaker's kind of just edged us out. Huh? Should these duresses be checked for traps? These should probably be checked for traps, huh? I think it's likely the case. I think I need all 5 removal spells. 4 is probably, or all 6. 5's probably plenty. Let's try this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna between Hullbreaker and Goldspan Dragon, having a discard spell that can take creatures seems like it has value in standard right now. Yeah, I agree, Kellen. I think they nailed the Explorer announcement. I'd prefer if the anthology we're getting was coming a little bit sooner than summer, but I also understand they probably don't want to overshadow their new set release with that, so it's fine. I'll take what I could get. Yeah, we're getting Baldur's Gate alchemy stuff in the summer at some point too, but that won't impact the Explorer format. Although, I guess there could be Pioneer legal cards in the Baldur Gates that are reprints that are direct new to Arena. So that could be an avenue for getting more cards into the format. Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure our opponent would play the game. They've used 12 minutes off their clock. I've used 4 off of mine. Pretty frustrating. I'm gonna play around Jawari Disruption here with my 2-drop. Hey, what's going on, Joru Doshi? Thanks for the 20 months. Welcome back. Alright, I was gonna wait till after this match was done to run to the restroom, but I really have to pee, so I'm gonna BRB while they take forever taking their expressive iteration resolution. Oh, it's my turn. Crazy. I think I'm just Bloodtithe Harvester into dispute here, sack the blood. Okay. Show me all secrets. Draw an untapped land. That'd be pretty good. What's their foretold card here? Demon Bolt? Oh yeah, they did show us Behold in the first game. Good call. That last turn was a good example of a spot where check for traps would have been much better than Duress, though, huh? Able to, take the gold span. Play out this Mire so that way I can hold up Voltage Surge for 4 without sacking the treasure. Also lets me play around another Disruption that they could be digging for a negate. Bottoms up. You love to see it.
I will cull the weak.
Is my house burning down, opponent? Therein lies the question. Well, that's definitely gotta go, because it blocks. My ticker did just go up one, Thistlehamm. Thanks for checking them out. You can submit a deck for being a part of that, checking out the sponsor using the normal deck queue. Just indicate in the comments that it's for your submission and what the name was that you used to sign up for the Every Play promo.
My power is for annihilation. Do what I demand.
Ah, these things not being checked for traps are literally going to kill us, chat. Literally going to kill us.
A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Oh, they tapped off their Field of Ruin. Seems good for us. And double bottom it again. They like digging for another Cinderclasm. Feels like it. They're at 9, so if they can't interface with the board, we're cracking them to 2 next turn. My opponent has less than 12 minutes on their match timer. You don't say. I have almost 23 minutes on my match timer, chat. I mean, our opponent's very clearly just doing something else while they're playing. They don't really have hard decisions to be making on these turns. They're just wasting time. So if they have an untapped land here to go with their Goldspan Dragon, they're not dead on board because they can field my Hive and block my Bloodtithe Harvester. Did I forget to draw a card with Lolth? I think I did. I don't remember. I think I was at 21 because I gained a life. It was the Hive. Okay. So honestly, the fact that they have Smoldering Eggs too makes me think maybe I do want this extra Surge. Have 6 pieces of removal. It's probably a good idea. Sure. Is direct challenge available for Explorer? I mean, there's like a freeform direct challenge option, right? I see, I would really like an untapped land so we can go like Duress into Bloodtithe Harvester on curve, but definitely not mulliganing it. That's a tapped land. You want to go ahead and just Duress here. We'll spike the untapped land next turn. Take their expressive iteration. Try and cut them off with the card advantage. Ah, the 7-card sideboard bug is back for direct challenge. Good stuff. Other things that make me happy we're not currently doing Hoaglandia Open tournaments at the moment. Nailed it. Never didn't have it. Now, we can't play out a second Bloodtithe Harvester until they kill the first. If I play out the second, they can just kick the Cinderclasm. Hoaglandia Open when? Maybe in the fall. If it looks like there's been a pretty positive reaction to Wizards' new organized play stuff, we'll probably bring the Open series back when rotation happens in the fall. But I'm tentatively scheduled to cover the rest of the Pokemon Unite official tournaments through summer. They're Aos Cup and Regional and May Finals, so I didn't want to try and do our own events on top of that. Must be too many weekend commitments. I go ahead and do this just to like get the Cinderclasm out of their hand. Just like need to get through it at some point. Next turn we'll get to deploy this. Unsack the blood, get a token back. Do you have a Goldspan Dragon opponent? So I would like to grasp it firmly. The long pause there makes me think they don't have a counter spell. Let's see if that's the case. Sometimes lucky. Alright, and now that they tapped out, I'm gonna go ahead and jam Lolth here rather than do these things. Getting her in under a counter spell here has a lot of value. We're pretty solidly ahead at the moment, but they won game one with a Hull Breaker. Hull Breacher. If they hit that again here, we could definitely be in trouble. I can burn out my Lolth here, but she already made spiders, and our opponent is at 13, so the door is kind of closing quickly. Sure. Yep, our opponent now has used 23 minutes to play this match of Magic. And we have used less than 10. obviously I had the Dragonfires face up, so I can see that they can hit my thing here, but I think if they want to use their Dragonfire on one of these fighters, that's good for us.
My will cannot be denied.
Ever run a limited open? No, I don't even play limited, chat. Why would I run a limited open? Go ask Kenji or someone who plays limited if they want to run a limited open, chat. Also, like, I get that a lot of people enjoy playing limited, but like, limited from a spectator tournament perspective is incredibly unpopular. Has far less traction than Constructed does in that perspective.
At least there is subservience will be rewarded.
My body is ready to get Cinderclasmed. Cinderclasm 2, the electric boogaloo. A lot of people that watch and engage with Magic the Gathering content, they watch it for seeing decks and experiences they potentially want to recreate at home for themselves. And the problem with limited is that while you can watch players draft, and the draft portion itself is interesting because you can learn pick orders and stuff, from an actual gameplay perspective, it's hard to reproduce the gameplay you're watching because, you know, you won't draft the exact same deck the players will. And then, in an interest of trying to kill them before Cinderclasm 2 happens, I'm attacking with everything. It's actually a lethal attack if they don't have a spell in hand. Got it. 0 to 2. And now, even if they peel Cinderclasm, I have Hive. Okay, this can get them Cinderclasm plus something else, so a draw 2 is definitely what they needed here to start to get back in the game. Swing and miss. I know we ultimately ended up winning this match here, obviously, but I think I do want to swap the Duresses for check for traps. Most of the decks I want discard spells against in this format seem like they're Goldspan Dragon decks, so being able to take their threat away I think is more important than the mana efficiency of Duress. Yeah, Anvil could threaten to burn out as well. It was their fastest turn all match. Yup. Just like held us hostage there for infinite time. Pretty annoying. Opponent just wanted the experience of playing Hostage Taker. Yeah, basically. If this hand made red mana, I would maybe keep this, but if we can't cast that, we don't get any redraws. Sure. The bottom of the Fable here, I want to keep this in case they're playing something aggressive. Wait, aggro's a thing in this format. Also, I would like to thank our Twitch chat, by the way, for being incredibly smart, because I didn't have to lecture anyone in chat today when we were talking about Explorer, about the fact that Explorer is not just historic without rebalances. because that was literally the first comment on the YouTube reaction video. Was, oh, it's just historic without rebalances. It's like, no, that's not it. Not at all. There are a bunch of cards that aren't legal in Pioneer that exist in historic. Please stop. This could hit one of our 3s or 5s. Feels bad, man. I diddly disputed end of turn here. Second Anvil's nice. Means we get to start going up total counts and tokens when we sacrifice artifacts, because the passive text will trigger on both. Sacrifice this now, because these only generate 1/1s on our turn. Yeah, I agree, Canadian Bacon. The the quality of communication on the Explorer post was absolutely tops. Okay.
I will show you what happens when the spiders squash back.
Play her out before we attack, so that way if any of these die, we get to go ahead and add loyalty to her.
A gift in exchange for loyalty.
I don't know what a Dragon Spark Reactor is. If a mod is feeling like being helpful, if you have a moment, could you update that Hoopa command to link to the Hoopa playlist instead of that specific video? Looks like that one got missed when I went through.
I will get what I want.
It's for the follow, Joe Sherlock. Is attacks profitable? I don't actually know. I don't have great blocks either. I guess if they want to kill these, they have to double block. It's probably fine. We'll play Fable the Mirror Breaker out post-combat. Well, you can kill one with the trigger. The other one they have to double block. Getting in with my 1/1s before their things turn into 2/2s seems like it has value. We're getting them low enough that burning them out with the anvils might be a real option here too. We can dodge a Meathook Massacre for a little bit here. We should be able to close this game out. Pest Summoning's pretty good. Gives them blockers that will let them gain some life. Yeah, our own Meathook would be an excellent draw for sure. Put our drains into overdrive. Speaking of, I think I'm gonna drain them at end of turn here since they have more blockers now. Let's get our guaranteed pokes in. Also gonna put a stop on my draw step, because if I draw a Deadly Dispute, I want to cast the Deadly Dispute before I Fable the Mirror Breaker for the next chapter. Yep, perfect. Just like we drew it up. This gives us more information about what we have in our hand before we commit to which two cards we want to discard. Sick. We just Meathook for 2, right? We want to put a stop here so that way we can respond to our Meathook enter the battlefield trigger by using Oni-Cult Anvil to kill, to deal damage to them. For 3, so they can't wander to save something. Oh, that's a good thought. I think this is fine though. If they go and wander or plus, we'll just voltage surge.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me. Remember your training.
Why is there even a resolve all button, shit? Well, it doesn't go live until Thursday, Wardy. A week from today. We technically have lethal next turn, right? Because we can Synthesizer, sack the Synthesizer, get 2 1/1s, put them to 2, sack a 1/1, deal 2.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Okay, that technically keeps them alive here. draws here that end the game still. Okay, yeah. You be grinding. It's okay, we're gonna draw Meathook off the top here. This Twitch stream is pre-recorded in front of a live audience. Thanks for hanging out today. Oh no! Rude. Okay. They have another way to gain life. I'm down to 21. You got me on the ropes, opponent. Oh, shit!
You are not much of a roadblock.
Man, the opponent's brain is huge. They're dead to our Hive though, right? They just reminded me that I have a creature land too. Can do this all day. Alright, Trespasser and Sorin for a little bit of extra grind here for sure. Infernal Grasp seems really mediocre. Some Voltage Surge for their Planeswalkers might be fine. I think I'd rather have discard spells though, actually. I'm gonna split check for trips and Epicure 3/3 because Epicure's kind of an individually weak card, but I also need a critical mass of artifacts, so I can't cut all of them. Sure. Having our expensive cards in our opening hands actually pretty good in a matchup like this, because it means that our experimental synthesizers are less likely to brick if we play them early. So I did board in a couple of Sorins as well, to have a few more extra expensive cards. So ideally, if we have other things to be doing with our mana, we'll want to be doing those rather than synthesizing until we have 5 total mana in play. Hey, Fakelin, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Howdy, howdy. If I play this and they Meathook, I'm sad, but if they don't Meathook or kill the Treasure Goblin, we'll be able to play a Lolth next turn, which is great. They murdered my Treasure Goblin ship. And then I think because I was greedy and ditched my 5th land here, we actually want to play the 2nd Fable this turn, so that way we get extra looks at the 5th land for next turn if they kill our Treasure Goblin again. That was definitely much better for us than Emperor. Oh, I don't even know if Emperor is that bad, right? If they Emperor, I get the treasure and then I get to Lolth. Okay, and I think with the land draw here, I now play Lolth pre-combat. So that way, if I attack and they block, she gets to collect some loyalty counters.
My power is for annihilation.
I think I'm going to sit on the Bloodtithe Harvester because having that as something we can copy with Reflection of Kiki Jiki down the line here has a lot of value.
Aren't I generous? Aren't I the generous one? Go, my children.
I'd rather discard a blood than this treasure. We dodge a Meathook, we can dodge a ball. Smack my Planeswalker down to 1. But then if they clean the board out, she's going, what, up to 7?
I'll show you what I do to traitors.
They're digging in. I mean, our deck's not particularly popular in the format. It's definitely a deck that exists and sees some amount of play, but definitely don't play against it terribly frequently.
We will slay our enemies.
Show me your secrets. Are you dead yet? They're at a virtual 3 thanks to our anvils at the moment.
My will cannot be denied.
So long, farewell, I'll see you and good day. We're back to the double digits, chat. You would have copied the menace creature. Yeah, that's what a good player would have done, Weens. I wanted the blood token for value. Somebody please think of the value. Alright, I think this will be our last, unless this match of standard is just a complete flub. It's gonna be our last magical gathering of the morning. And we'll flip on over to some Pokemon Unite after this. They're a pretty good set. You dead, Sokka. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. These untapped snarls. It's good deck building. You have a combat trick for 2 mana? Be faithful absenced my 1/1. I accept your terms and conditions. Gosh, 1 mana murder, chat. Alright, we're running out of gas a little bit, but so are they. I'm gonna go ahead and just Meathook now. Denies them from drawing a card with this next turn, and I want to, like, get this out before we Bloodtithe Harvester. We're looking for any of our card advantage at this point. Lolth, Kiki, Saga, Synthesizer, Disrupted, Deadly Dispute. About some basic lands. Maybe. Finish him. I'm gonna hold on to this because I have a lot of things that discard cards to draw cards. Rover, Red Rover, let Bugbear come over. Right, clearing their creature lands out makes this next Meathook better. Maybe I should hold 2 lands because of Kiki Saga. The Kiki Saga could turn 2 lands into 2 spells. Right. Empty board, high health totals definitely favors our deck. Not a guarantee by any means. We're definitely a bit ahead at the moment. Just waiting on some action. Not going to use the blood right away because I want to use the Harvester to kill their Spellbinder next turn with its activated ability. And then we'll use the blood to filter the land after that. I think this draw means we sack the blood to draw 2. It's close though. You know what's not particularly close anymore, chat? This game. Survived a little bit, hit one of our payoffs.
Good minions are loyal.
And the first card advantage draws the next card advantage, draws the next card advantage, and all just kind of snowballs from there. Alright, so white aggro, Rays of Enfeeblement, some power word kills, some Abrades. It's definitely an all Doomblades on deck matchup. We just want to be killing all of their stuff all of the time. That being said, what do I want to trim? I think I want to keep Lolth as a piece of top in there. Fable comes out maybe. Beetle's a little slow. Yeah. I'll trim like one Epicure. Oh, you know what? We could totally trim a land, right? 23 lands, maybe a little low. Boarding out 3 drops, though. Embrace the greed and cut a land. Nah, I'm just going to cut the Epicure. Keeping the Lolths, and I probably need to stay at 23 lands. This hand is more than good. It's great. Would prefer removal spells that didn't hurt me, but beggars definitely shan't be choosers. Take what we can get. This was an excellent draw after Thalia happened there. Definitely glad to have found a card that's castable on 2. They have Adeline? They do. Yikes. I'm gonna Infernal Grasp Adeline now, just in case they have a Valorous stance. This one, however, I'll wait, because if they stance to protect this one, it's like not a big deal. Oh, I guess they could Wandering Emperor here.
I am the Emperor of Kamigo, and I will show
Yeah, I
them how
deserve that.
we greet our enemies.
I deserve that. That voltage to Adeline, resource efficiency.
Years of training for this.
Just want to spend my mana. Well, I definitely want to Harvester the Thalia because the Thalia makes my spells more expensive. So killing Thalia with our creature that's already in play is definitely correct. No, it's our last match. We're gonna swap to some Unite after we finish this one. Isn't tough. Last deck, last match. Gonna block with Epicure and then Deadly Dispute here. Them drawing a card here with Wedding Announcement is actually low-key kind of good for us. I really don't want them to put more pressure into play. So certainly playing a land. Now the question is, do I Lolth this board or do I Abrade plus Dispute? I think I'm kind of into Abrade plus Dispute. It's close though. Let's do this. And Lolth Spiders can double block the innate. The upside to this sequence with the Lolth is it means they're attacking with 2 creatures again, which will draw them a card, but it won't generate them a token. And this is them drawing a card as opposed to getting a token is a better tempo exchange for us. Okay. So how are we attacking here is the question. Do they want to guarantee my Planeswalker gets offed, or do they want to pressure my life total?
My will cannot be denied.
Okay, so I'm not dead on board. Step 1, not dead on board. We are a little bit behind though. Our lack of a Meathook in our top 18 cards does not feel great here. We can beat one of those two. We can't beat both of them. We weren't dead to anything. We're actually getting another draw step through most of their deck. Are you interested in uniting Pokemon this afternoon, Patches, or are you busy? Okay. We need an artifact enabler for this hand, so like a synthesizer or a blood token producer to get the Oni-Cult Anvils online, but triple removal spells should hopefully give us plenty of time to get to that point. Working. I'll allow it. Yeah, count on it. Perfect. Just like we drew it up, chat. I'm actually gonna go ahead and grasp this innate in response. I think it's pretty important that I spend my mana for the turn here. They have the Adeline on curve. Every time, shit. They're debating on if they want to trade their etchings for 2 of my 1/1s. They decide they do. We take 4 down to 15. Okay, so let's Voltage Surge the Thalia. Submit 0. And then we'll attack for 1 to see if they're a coward. Our opponent is unable to block warriors today, chat. We're going to put a stop here to play around Voltage Surge not holding priority. And then we'll go ahead and Voltage Surge, target this, pay the red, sacrifice this. Now the opponent does have a lot of cards in hand still. Another Adeline is pretty good as well. I can't block here because I need this 1/1 token to kind of keep my artifact train rolling with the anvils. That's a great draw. Let's have a red source in hand. We'll leave black up. Nice, nice. I assume they're taking Lolth here. Yeah. So, untapped land? Leave the treasure token here. The treasure token helps us work towards casting Lolth. Nice. No, wait to sack the synthesizer. If we hit like our second Lolth, that would be annoying. To make some more 1/1s. I think we're pretty thoroughly snowballed at this point. Even if they have like an Emperor here, we're still pretty far ahead. Like, play an Emperor, make a 2/2. I sack the one that they're... I didn't attack with this to play around Emperor, because this way, whichever one they go to block here, I can sack it to drain.
May your blade strike true. Strike fast and strike hard.
Okay. Does each opponent... Oh, it does deal damage, though. So, you can't just look at raw games when you're talking about best of 3, Bob, because, what's the word that I'm searching for? If you look at only raw games played, it doesn't account for, like, games you win 2-0, but then matches you lose 1-2 and stuff like that. So it's, like, kind of a murky comparison. Huh. I think I just meat-hooked them for 3 here, right? Just clean the board out and drain them a bunch. Regardless of the comparison to best of 1. It's not, though. It's like... Look at the spot on the, just look at the spot on the total win track where you actually get to break even. It's definitely easier to break even in best of 1. And best of 1 has a lower risk commitment because the entry fee is lower as well. So your risk assessment is less than that one as well. Either way, regardless of how it compares to best of 1, I think 3-2 should get enough currency to re-enter the event instead of having to spew. So, and this is notable, pseudonym. So, Anvil notably says it deals a damage to each opponent, and this card says each opponent loses a life. So damage causes life loss, but life loss is not damage. It's a stupid distinction that I agree seems arbitrary and unnecessary. I don't think you really change this deck list at all for best of 1, but I'm also don't really have much experience with that type of format. God, what is with all of our opponents being glacial in standard today?
Keep watch for intruders.
Well, Explorer's not, doesn't exist until next week, Bizziples. It's added to the platform on Thursday.
We've got the edge in this fight.
So again, the Oni-Cult Anvil doesn't actually hurt them here, but the Meathook Massacre does. This sacks, they take 1 from the Meathook. We sack one of the new ones, they take 1 from the Meathook. Didn't even need our Lolth. They almost got back into this game with the Volk, but Meathook is just a silly magic card. Finished at almost a nice ranking for the day. Good set overall. We had decent runs in both in Historic, Alchemy, and Standard today. This Anvil deck's really good. We've played it 3 or 4 times now on stream, and it performs really well every time. Can grind through the other Meathook decks in the format nicely with all of its card advantage, and then runs through the white aggressive deck like we saw there.